Now, just need one more thing. There we go. Hey! Oh, shoot, Robert is here. What is happening? What's really going on in the place? We is out here doing the thing and doing the thing. Y'all know I like to dance. Okay, I was just getting it in. I got to turn the music off. But I like the music. The music makes me happy. Hey, Sherry, I'm here. I'm here. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Spiritual Tools Tuesday. Hey, Kiki. How you doing? You're here. You're here. Everybody is here. Listen, we're going to be talking some very basic stuff. So someone like Robert, who has been doing this forever. Hey, Benji Mo and Al, some, honey. How you doing? Let me see. I was jamming. Hey, Trina's here. The gang's all here. Chuck's over here on YouTube. I have, you all will be happy to know that I have charged my laptop. So we will not have any more of the BS that we had last week. Hey, LJ701 in the house. All right. So I have had several conversations this week that made me say, I think it's really important that this week I just dial it back a little bit and talk about the basics of spiritual tools, right? I'm all about, those of you who are new to me, I am Mama Lewa. I'm a priest of Oshun, of the Lupumi tradition. I come out of a house from Chicago that is connected to a house in Miami. It's also connected to a house in New York, Ile Osi Khan. That's my pedigree. I have a Iya Tiambe, and Achibona, who is Iya Ashabi. I am legit as they come. But I am also a spiritual worker. One who has grown up in this in a way that I didn't even recognize. Matter of fact, it's probably good that Robert is here. He is one of those people who have helped me to understand the roots of where I come from, and the family ties that I have in that makes this a legitimate thing that I'm doing. Like, I don't know how that works, but what I found is that people that I am working through my classes and through readings and counseling and things, generally people who are drawn to spiritual work, when they look back in their families, they find that they have aunties and grandmas and grandpas who did spiritual work. Come on, Monica, switch on over to Facebook. Where was you before, Monica? You're a Facebooker. Why are you trying to go to other places? Anyway, so if you are gravitating towards these Spiritual Tools Tuesdays and these, our Sunday check-ins, and you're finding yourself wanting to know about lighting candles and wanting to know about working with herbs and getting more prayerful and getting more in tune with your spiritual self, working with your ancestors and your spirit guides, generally what you will find is that is something that runs in your family. And because of our history as Black people in the United States, we have been shamed into letting our traditions go. But our traditions is what has brought us to this point right now. We could not be here in 2021 if it weren't for our ancestors who knew herbal work. Hey, Trina is on Instagram. Look at there. All right. Oh, I'm glad your phone did not go out. Or if your phone went out, you had a backup like me. I'll be having backups in case stuff go off. So, it's elitist, I think. And I think it's very dangerous for us to get into the mindset that if you are spiritual, or that if you are working your spiritual tools, you should not have problems in life, that you should always have money, that, you always get the easy way, opportunities just fall at your lap. You will always have the love that you want. You will always stay out of trouble. You'll be able to do whatever you want to do. Like all that shit, that's bullshit. That is not how life works. And I hate to say this in such an elitist kind of way, but the spiritually mature people recognize that problems are part of life. Problems, hardships, heartache, all of that is a part of life. And if you are truly living life, then you are living life on life terms. That means you are living through the brainstorms. You are living through the hardships. You are making your way through stuff. And so that is why we use our spiritual tools, because we need a light in the darkness. And our spiritual gifts give us light in the darkest times, right? So what I found is that the people who are gravitating towards the spiritual revolution, because it really is something happening. You can't be on Instagram 15 seconds without seeing some spiritual person. Or maybe it's just me, because that's all the people I follow. But everybody is doing spiritual stuff. And the reason, and what I found, because when I first started this, I'm looking at the Instagrammers. Y'all can't have all the attention, Facebookers. So Instagram. When I first started this, I thought that the majority of my followers would be, Lukumi practitioners, Lukumi priests, or aleos who are new to the faith and trying to figure out how to live this life. But my message is not Orishas. My message is spiritual work. And so what I found is that most of the people who follow me are coming from a Christian tradition. And so, they're learning how to listen to their own spiritual voice. They're learning how to deal with life and find their strength and their hope through these spiritual tools. And so, there's a few that I always have the same one. Like if you've been watching me for years, I'm going to talk about divination. I'm going to talk about candle work. I'm going to talk about herbs. I'm going to talk about being out in nature. And I'm going to talk about meditation and prayer. Because really those are the staples of making it through the hard times. Now it's easy. It's easy to do stuff when things are going well. But this week, I've been talking to people who have gone through some real hardships, like losing their job or going to jail or mental breakdowns, family deaths, all kinds of really hard times, divorces, just all kind of shit. And without exception, each one has said to me, if it weren't for me knowing how to use, I'm gonna cry. I don't want to cry. I get emotional. If it wasn't for me knowing how to use my spiritual tools, I don't know if I would have made it through. And those of us who are new to spiritual tools, that's what you need to know. That this that I'm teaching on every Tuesday, this that I'm demonstrating on Sundays is really a lifeline. It's a lifeline. And it has different levels, right? You got different pieces that you put together. And the more pieces that you're able to use, I'm not going to say the easier life gets, but it becomes easier to find the solutions. That's what I would say. Yep, intentions is everything. I started with a candle. Yes. And it's, I remember when I first started doing spiritual stuff, I should say intentionally doing spiritual stuff. Because, I told y'all this story. My mama, all my life, spiritual baths, candles, leaving food for the ancestors. I grew up with that stuff, but I didn't know that it was weird, right? And, my mother was like, once you start doing this, you cannot stop. And it sounded really like a foreboding thing. Like, oh, they're going to get you. You're going to stop and they ain't going to get you. But it's not that. Hey, Indigenous Mama, welcome. Welcome to Spiritual Tools Tuesday. It's not. It is that once you figure out that this stuff really works, and I mean really works, you don't want to not do it. And when your life starts getting rocky, you be like, oh, I got to get back to my stuff, right? Trina said, yes, it is a lifeline. It truly is. And so, I like to look at how this new way of living gives you the power back. When I was, I went to Catholic high school. I was a good Catholic school girl. I might have not have been good, but I was a Catholic school girl. And I could not understand the relationship that they cultivated or had us cultivate with God. Because God was, to me, very mean and very angry. It was always like, and if you don't do these 5 rules, God is going to strike you down. And I was like, wait, but if I'm in need, if I'm confused, if I'm worried, if I'm going the wrong way, why would I need the higher power to be like, like, no, I don't need that. I need compassion. That thing that they say that we should have with one another. I'm going to pause for a second. Hey, DC. Hey, Mama Lewa. Good to see you. Love the lipstick color and the nails. Oh, yes. So, yes, Monica, I'm a Catholic school graduate, alumni. And so from the beginning, I knew that wasn't my path because they had no space. Hey, 360 Mog, they had no space for my ancestors. They had no space for my ancestors. And I knew from the get-go, I was going, I'm sorry. We family. I was like, damn, she ain't got no home training. Anyway, from the beginning, I knew that my ancestors were a part of my life. And if you come out the gate, hey, Ruby, saying that I can't talk to my ancestors, then I know that the spiritual system that you have for me is not for me, right? Because our ancestors come with us regardless. We don't have to be initiated to it. We don't have to be introduced to them. We don't have to be, nothing. They come with us. So for you to say, I can't talk to them, I can't worship them, I can't call on them, but I can call on your people. Now what? So that was the beginning of my journey. Hey, Leadership as a People. I love that name. That was a beautiful name. I'm sorry. This is me waving at people on Instagram. So, I started, I think the first thing that I started with on my spiritual, they are family. Your ancestors is your family. It's like somebody telling you can't talk to your mom. Anyway, so Chicago came out of me. So I don't know what I started with intentionally, probably candle magic. And when I would do stuff and put my intentions on stuff and see it manifest, I was like, what? That's real. And you'll go through that too. You'll go through a time when you like putting your candles together and putting your prayers and your intentions. I'm going to tell you what'll let you know whether or not it's real or not. A goddamn spiritual bath. I've been taking spiritual baths for the majority of my life. And to this day, I will get in the tub and be like, see, this one ain't even going to work. I put these herbs in there. Maybe I didn't pray right. Maybe I didn't. It's something about them herbs that it moves your spirit. It moves stuff out your way. It gets you together. It is nothing like when your house is stagnant and you got a bunch of bad luck and money tight and stuff, and you mop your floors with them herbs and stuff, or you take them herbal baths and you feel that shit clear up instantly. It ain't nothing like that. You took your bath. Oh, I'm sorry. Take the bath. Oh, Kiki, tell me how it was, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, I would like you, like, if y'all help me talk today, I would appreciate that. Those of you who have been working with me, those of you who have seen the amazing benefits of spiritual tools, please put it in the comments. I'm gonna share. Hey, Toya, I miss you too. Hey, Mama, welcome, welcome. So thank you, thankful to see you. Let us know. And that's why I'm doing that picture campaign about spiritual tools, because it's very easy and it's something that consistently works, right? So I'm going to break it down a little bit. Like, I'm going to start with what I do, which is tarot reading. Why do we do tarot readings? You know, people have, that's one of the hard ones that people have to get used to. They got to like get broken, because we have been taught that tarot reading and divination and all of that is of the devil, that God does not want you to see what is coming. And that does not make sense, because he would not give us this gift if he didn't want us to use it. Pause. I felt at peace and slept through the night for the first time in almost a year. Peace and light. That is a benefit of spiritual bath. It calms you, it clears your spirit, and it allows you to rest. It brings you peace of mind. And once you realize that all you have to do when your mind is racing and you can't figure out what to do and you're panicking and you're having all, if you realize that taking a spiritual bath or drinking a cup of tea will knock all that out, you will be like, what? That's all I got to do. Let me get on it. Now I'm gonna tell you, it ain't always easy, because sometimes, especially when you're depressed or you're not feeling good, taking a spiritual bath is probably the last thing you want to do. But if you could push through that just to get them herbs in the tub and sit your ass down for 10 minutes, you will break it and come out new. Just saying. Chuck said, yes, peace sleep. Yay, peace sleep. Yes. Because, you know, I am one that when life gets, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all can see me. I'm all looking for my shirt. I'm playing with my legs. Like, what is she doing? It's the Instagrammers that can see me all up in here. I'm just regular, y'all. Y'all got to know I'm just regular. Hey, look here. I'm just Mama Leroy, just in here on my couch playing with my leggings under my t-shirt. But so I started with divination. I have a gift for a tarot reading. Those of you who have had a reading with me, y'all know. And I ain't like bragging or nothing. I'm just saying, since I picked up the cards, people would always say, you're really good at that. And I'd be like, Even when I was reading the book, I'd be like, the book said that this is the Queen of Swords, and I don't think that's a good card for you. And then I would put the book down and I would do something. And it would be like this conversation, and I'm thinking I'm just talking, right? But I would be telling the people the information, right? And so now I realize that that's also a part of, so when you get a reading from me, thanks, Chuck. She has the gift for tarot reading. Heard it from Chuck over on YouTube. So what I found, and this is why you want to like get someone who has gone through the fire with the tarot cards. Now there are people online. I've seen people who start reading tarot. 2 weeks later, they reading for other people. You're like, you know, and I guess you could do it, but what happens with longevity? What happens with practice and doing it over and over again, you start to realize how, well, I can't say you, because I don't know if everybody does this. It's kind of like, you got to get grown up in here. It's kind of like, I shouldn't say this. I was about to get nasty, but I ain't going to get nasty, because I don't know who's going to be watching later. But it's kind of like if you're really good at doing the nasty stuff, and then later you realize that everybody doesn't do what you do. And then you be like, oh, really? Some people just be laying there? Yeah. So that's how it is with spirit and tarot. I'll be like, oh, everybody don't do that when they get your reading? Like, no, they don't. Oh, I didn't know. So when I'm reading, I hear conversations. And I've learned that that conversation is my spiritual entourage talking to your spiritual entourage. And that conversation is not necessarily something that all readers do, right? A lot of readers do, but not all of them. Some people are strictly reading from the book or they're memorizing from the book, right? I told y'all, I'm just regular. You don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. Anyway, but the message sometimes is so much more. Oh, blessings, Trina. I'm glad to see that. The message is so much more than that, and that's why I think my readings are so accurate. It's not me; it's them, and I do a lot of work to keep that relationship going. You know, I do my prayers. I have my candles lit. I have my altars up. You know, I'm talking to my Orishas. I'm constantly talking to my ancestors. I'm constantly bathing and, you know, recharging myself so that I can keep that strong connection to here. Right. So I want to talk a little bit about divination, which is it's not just tarot cards. This is a form of divination. Those of y'all that took Manifestation Month, you'll know what these are. We did Magnificent Manifestation Month in December, and they got a box full of spiritual tools because I wanted them to be set up with a foundation of spiritual tools that they can use throughout the year. So they had candles in there, they had herbs in there, they had oils, they had baths, and they had these. These are crystals. I forgot which one. Dang, I can't remember off the top of my head. But they're dice, and you can use these for divination. So there's different. Some people use, yes, your card of the day. Some people use playing cards to do divination. Some people use the pendulums for divination. But what it does, thank you, Lakia. Lakia said my readings are on point. Y'all better get you a reading. If you ever need a reading, just DM me or inbox me, however you need to hit me, and we'll make an appointment. But anyway, so the benefits. I just did a reading today, and the lady was like, you know, I did a year reading with you last year, and everything you said happened. Now, sometimes that means that when you get your year reading, it's not a good reading. It's not a good reading. Your year reading is not always good. Sometimes it's like, hey, your finances gonna be fucked up this year. Something bad gonna happen at your job. You know, is something going on with your health? Some, you know, and it's been like over the years that I've been doing this, I've seen stuff where, you know, something is going on with your health, go to the doctor, and the person go to the doctor and find out, you know, it's something that they need an operation on, or it's something that they, you know, didn't realize it was as bad. So we use divination because sometimes you need a heads up on what's going on with your life. And if you know beforehand that the trouble, thank you, Trina. Trina did manifestation, but it's a green onyx. The dice are. That's green onyx. Anyway, so if you know beforehand, you know, people don't like, some people, when they come to me, they're scared, right? And they say, I don't want to do a reading because I'm afraid I'm going to hear something bad. And I'd be like, baby, if it's something bad to be heard, you want to hear it so that you can prepare yourself. Because what happens is when you get your reading and it was bad, when that shit drop, you be prepared, right? You be like, something in your mind be like, oh yeah, I remember the reading said blah, blah, blah. I remember the reading said something was going to happen with my house. So then when the pipes burst, you be like, oh shit, there they go. Well, I did have some money on the side because Mama Lewa said put some money to the side. And so that's how we're using our readings. We use our divination for when, like, you have some decisions and you're not sure if it's the right way to go. You check in and you're able to feel more secure about the hard decisions you got to make because you know that this is the better decision over that decision, right? You are a mama for a reason. You give it to us straight. That's true. Don't come to me if you want some warm and fuzzy readings. Sometimes I try to be warm and fuzzy, but it always come out Capricorn harsh. I'll be like, look, I'm really sorry, but you shouldn't do that shit no more. And people be like, oh my God, it's the truth. and to help you all better understand. So bad is inevitable. Attitude is key. That is the truth. And it's not so bad, because like when I get readings, or when I give readings for myself or get readings from other people, because your reader needs a reader too sometimes, because it's hard to see things when they up close to you. When you have an investment in it, sometimes it's hard to be objective. So when you get that reading, you're like, well, what should I do? What's the best way for me to get through this hard thing that's coming? And the good thing about getting a reading is that you can get a card, or you can get, a further answer that says, okay, well, the best way for you to get through this is to do this, or is to do that, or to remember to do whatever. You don't need to meditate this time. You don't really need to watch your diet, or you don't have to put money to the side. So it's true. And so then, even if you don't listen, because everybody don't listen to their reading. Chuck said straight no change. I'm gonna have to work on my delivery. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm so rough. But in my mind, I feel like here's why I give it straight. I'm gonna tell y'all why I give it straight. I give it straight the way I do, because when I don't, your people be yelling at me. Because I'll be like, well, I don't want to tell them that. That's hard. Maybe I'll just make it soft. And they be like, no, that ain't what we saying. I mean, oh, okay. Your ancestor said. I be like to look at it. Mama said. Be just like that. So we're able to prepare ourselves, prepare our minds. Chuck said, I can't work on it. I'm sorry. He said, my delivery is perfect. Oh, Miss Cherie said, don't change. Oh, blessings, blessings. When I know from a reading, I can use my tools to ease the outcome. Exactly. Now, when we're in the fire, when that hard thing comes, when they be like, oh, you're going to have I'm going to tell y'all my own experience. Oh, and this one is hard for me. It's always hard when I go back in this space. So I get a year reading. This is why I advocate for a year reading. I got a year reading in 2006. And it was like, you're going to have 3 hardships. And one of them is going to be really, really bad. And I knew as soon as I got it that was going to be the year that my dad died. I knew it. I knew it when I got that reading. And I didn't want it to be, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. You ain't never ready for stuff like that. But I knew. I said, okay, all right. And so like the 2 hardships came. And then that 3rd one came. And he died. He died that year. And I was kind of prepared in the sense of, I knew it was going to happen. It didn't hit me from a blind side. I had been warned that something would happen, and it would be very, very hard. And it wasn't a lie. It was very, very hard. And it wasn't like it made it any easier to go through. It was fucked up. It was the worst thing that has ever happened in my life. And I had to use my spiritual tools to get through it. And it was still hard. So, and I'm saying this, I want y'all to know that the process is necessary. Some of these things you can't avoid. You can't avoid death. And I think if our spiritual systems spoke about hardship in a different way, if it wasn't like, if you're a good person, then good things gonna happen to you. If you're a bad person, then you won't get bad stuff. Like, if we didn't talk about it that way, and instead said hardship is a part of life. It's the flip side of the good times. And life is like the wheel of fortune. Things go up and things go down. And the reason that you have God in your life, the reason you got spiritual work in your life, is to help you when shit is down, and to help you to be clear-minded when the shit is up. So, hold on, Paul's about to read this message. Mama Lewa is a compassionate reader, even if the news is not the best. Thank you. She tries to give you honey with the medicine. It's true. I do. Sometimes the medicine be real nasty. So you get the reading, and it tells you, that things are going to be hard. And then the hardship comes, right? And you're crying, and you're discouraged, and you're depressed. And so, like, for me, when I was at my lowest point, I had my ancestors, right? And I had my ancestors and I had my warriors, and so I knew that I had something to go to say, I need help through this. I don't know how to get through this. I've never gone through anything as hard as this. I need help. Even when I was at my lowest and was like, I'm not going to be able to make it through this, they sent help. They sent the lifeline. And so I made it through. Pause. If we're not put through the fire, how can we be utilized for greatness? Oh, come on now. Being molded into beautiful pottery without going through the fire is nothing more than nice to look at and not helpful at all. Also, sometimes the fire burns away those things that don't serve us anymore. You know, when you're holding on very tightly to habits and ways of thinking and ways of being that are detrimental to your destiny, sometimes you need a fire to shake that shit up off you, right? And if you're using your spiritual tools, if you are connected with your spirit guides, if you're connected with your ancestors, if you're connected, whatever those things may be. Now, see, I never call like Jesus and church and all that because that's not in my spiritual toolkit. Now, the Bible is, because my grandmama used to use the Psalms to do magic. So I do know a little bit about stuff, but not a lot. Even that in itself, people be like, you is going to hell. No, I'm sorry. But you absolutely need a flamethrower, especially stubborn folks. It's true. But what you do is, once you start to create a routine, you go to those that are helping you. So you go to our ancestors. There have been times, I look back on my life, and this is why I'm always telling y'all the shit works. Because there have been points in my life when I was like, nothing is ever going to be different. This is the worst that it's ever been. And I can't see a way out. I can't see how this gonna get better. This is just the way my life has been. Right? But now I'm able to look back in that and say, oh wow, they gave me exactly what I needed to hold on in that moment and find the little bitty ray of light that led to the answer and the way about the forest. Sometimes we're not able to see that. But when you have a connection through your spiritual tools, when you know, oh, I can go to the park and get through this next 5 minutes because I'm going to get some energy from the grass. I'm going to get some energy from the trees. The water that's flowing in this little man-made lake is going to help me to calm my anxiety. When you know that there are things you can do, when you know, oh, I can drink some chamomile tea, I can drink this lavender tea, I can take a bath in this, soothing, calming, elevating bath, and I can close my eyes and close my mouth and listen to the spirits that's saying, look, baby, don't do that. The reason you having trouble right now is because you need to call this person. Like sometimes you just got to know how to shut it down so you can hear the answers, right? And even if it wasn't just me, if it was just me, I might not be as confident as I am in front of y'all telling y'all this shit works. But I'm watching people that I've never met before who are now following me, who are working with me. And I'm watching them. It's like this. People are used to the scam spiritual workers who are like, number one, you don't have the power to change your life. You have to come to me, right? And I can give you everything you need. And you just got to keep coming to me. And I'm not that. I'm like, there are some things that you might need me for. You might need the guidance, and I'm always here for you. But let me show you how to empower yourself so that you have the courage and the confidence to be able to walk through this and do your spiritual self-care. Knowing that once you make a bath, check over here making friends. I have seen, some of the people in the comments section. I have watched them learn to make their own bath. Like I will give you a bath, for instance. And what I could do if I were really like on a different kind of path, I would be like, hey, I'll make you a bath. Send me $25. I'll send you the bath. And I still do that from time to time. But a lot of times what I do is say, you need a bath, go get these things. Because it's things that you can get from the grocery store. It's stuff that you can get from the dollar store that you may save your life in that moment. And you can't always like be able to send somebody $50 to send you a bath. Sometimes you need the $3 that you got in your pocket to go to the dollar store and get them 3 ingredients that you can make your own bath. Hold on, pause. I can now recognize when I'm stuck in a bad space. Peace and light. Come on, Tree. You have given me the tools I need to get through the difficult times. Oh, I'm going to cry. Yeah. Candle, incense, spiritual baths, meditations, and readings. Thank you, Mama Lewa. You're welcome. Ugh. Ah, shit. Let me tell y'all why I get teary-eyed. Because, you know, some of y'all I know, and some of y'all I now know. And all of y'all, I have watched you go through the hard times. And I've watched you use your tools and grow in this spiritual space and see, number one, and thank you for that, Ty DeCurie, because that was something I wanted to emphasize, is that as you start to use your spiritual tools, you begin to recognize when you're in a bad space and know what to do to get out of that bad space. That's $1 million right there. Like I said, things are going to happen in your life. And if you recognize it, when you're in your bad mood, when you're doing what my friend Julia calls stinking thinking, that thing that running, you ain't good enough, you don't know what to do, it ain't never gonna get better. This is, you just dumb. I can't believe you would, blah, blah, blah. With that voice, when you hear that voice and you learn how to shut it down, and you learn what to do in your life, I can light a candle, I can light an incense, I can take a bath, I can take a wash. Like if you start to have these things in your repertoire, those voices, those hard times, those dark times, they don't hit as hard. Hold on. Chuck over here being bad. Time that silence out and you'll be able to hear what you need to. It's true. Being silent is probably one of the biggest spiritual tools that we have that we don't use. Because, thank you, Chuck. Chuck said he feel unstoppable because of me. And I'm just going to use this one little part. I'm going to tell your business, Chuck. I adore Chuck because he's a man. Like most of the people who I work with are women. Thank you. Me too, Kiki. Are women. And it's such a beautiful thing to see a man use meditation and use making a list and use spiritual bath, like use these things to find his destiny, to find his power. I'm so proud of Chuck. I swear to God. And not just Chuck. I'm watching everybody like I ain't gonna say no names because she ain't tell me I can tell her business, but I'm gonna use her business without her name. I've watched one of you whole life rearrange itself, and that's not always easy. You know, sometimes you be in a job for 50 years and then that bitch dissolve and you looking like, now what do I do? I ain't got the income that I'm used to. You know, I got to pay my bills. Things ain't. And when you use your spiritual tools, you find out that your ancestors had something way bigger in mind, something way more in alignment that's going to bring you peace of mind. It may look totally different than what you thought it should look like. But in the end, when you get to the other side, you'll be like, man, this is so much better than what I thought I had, right? That's what living a spiritual life is about. It's about letting go of these false things that we put on, that we have as our identity. And we say, this is what makes my life work. And without this thing, I'm nothing. You know, without my title, I'm nothing. Or without my job, I'm nothing. Or without, my fancy car, I'm nothing. And spiritual tools be like, no, Kiki says she's proud of you too, Chuck. With your spiritual tools, you begin to really get in touch with who it is you are and what it is you was meant to be. You are in touch with the things in your life that are important, that give you peace, as opposed to putting on those false things that seem to give you peace and that make everybody else think you're doing it, and you really on the inside screaming because you're unhappy, because you're unfulfilled, because this ain't really you. So we be trying to take that bullshit off, and living a spiritual life helps you to take that, have the courage. Because I was telling my friend today, I was faced with a challenge to do something that I don't necessarily agree with. But when I threw on it, which means I did a reading, the reading said, you need this thing. And even though I thought I didn't need this thing, the cards was like, you need this. And it went against everything. You know how you be like, no, I need that. And God will be like, no, you don't need that. You need this. So I had to be humble, and I had to face my fears. And it was hard. It was hard. I'm just telling y'all for me. So I got some spiritual tools. Number one, I did the reading. And the reading was like, you need this. It's going to help you in the future. Talk. So then I said, well, let me check in with my body. And I have this way of checking in with my body to see if what I'm doing is in alignment with my spirit. And so I checked it, and boop, my check was like, yes, do it. So I got two things that was like, do it. And so my friend was like, well, why you do it if you really didn't want to do it? And I said, because I trust my process. And even though it doesn't make sense to me in this moment, I trust my spiritual tools, because I found that they are always right. Even when I think what they're telling me to do does not make sense. And so I walk in faith. That's what it means to walk in faith. It don't mean that you can't check in. It don't mean that you can't ask for help. It means that in the face of it, you still walk in the direction that they're telling you to walk in, even if it doesn't make all the sense in that moment. Because later you're going to look back and be like, oh, that's why they told me to take that class. That's why they told me to quit that job. That's why I had a client who did a reading with me. They were trying to get this job. And the job seemed like everything they wanted. They had the salary. It was great. It was in the city they wanted to be in. And the card was like, no, don't do it. And it was crazy. We both was like, what? I thought that was going to be the thing. And later on, she called me and was like, that place got like 75% of their staff has COVID. I'm so glad I didn't take that job. And I was like, damn. So in the moment, it may not make sense. But when you use your spiritual tools and you trust that process, then you know, okay, what are you telling me to do? Let me double check. Let me walk in faith. And I found that when I work that way, things work out. And when I don't work that way, it does not work out. And I've hit I be telling y'all not because I'm like, you got to believe. No, I'm telling you because I've been the one that was like, I ain't going to listen because I don't like that. And then boom, and I'll be like, oh shit, okay. Mental note, when they say move, then I should move. Just like that. Kiki said, you helped me face my fears. Blessings. That's what this is all about. How do you jump in the deep end of the pool and swim even though you're scared? I'm in my dream job. This is Monica. Going through-ish. And without my tools, I would have quit a long time ago. And I'm seeing why I'm here now. Amen and Ashe. Look, that's how I got my dream job. That was another one of them times when I was like, this don't make sense. My dream job, I had to take a pay cut. I was like, first of all, I'm a Capricorn, so y'all not telling me the right things. Y'all not telling me the right things. And they was like, go, go, go. And I almost didn't do it. I almost did not do it. When I'm telling y'all, I was about to be like, I don't know what y'all talking about. And if this for me, something else would come along. I was all in that space. And I walked in faith, and it was the best thing that happened to me in my life. I'm telling you. Trina, Ty, You did my end of the year reading, end of the year, beginning of the year reading for 2020 on January 5th, 2020. And you said, make sure you put some money to the side. Something is going on that's bigger than all of us. Oh, Trini, you got to be. You said everyone's finances are in a disarray, and boom, we are in a pandemic. And you were right. You also told me to spend cautiously and you will be okay. I listened and moved accordingly, and I was okay in the end. That's the truth. Because I was doing for Magnificent Manifestation Month is the month long thing that we do in December to bring in the year. Right? So if y'all want to do it, y'all need to do it. Get ready because it's in December and it's kind of expensive, but it's a month long thing. And what comes with that is your life reading for the next year. So for this previous year, not this year that just passed, but the year before that, I was doing everybody's reading. It was like 10 readings that I had to do. And all of them were like, your money finna be fucked up, your job finna be fucked up, and you need to be mindful. And I was like, the first person, I was like, oh, okay, this is a problem. Then the second person, I was like, oh, shoot, this is a problem for you too. Then the third, I said, oh, okay, I see. This is something that's going to affect us all. It's something that's going to affect us all. That was in January, and then March was the pandemic. And then after that was the let's all shut everything down. And it was the Black Lives Matter riots and things. So thank you, Trina, because that is an example of the power of using and being connected with your spiritual tools and everything, because it allows you to say, I got to move a certain way. And then when the shit hits, because like me, when COVID hit and we was all stuck in the house, everybody was going through it. Oh, I can't, I'm tired of being in the house. I'm scared, I'm worried. And I was scared. This was something that I had never experienced before, but I had a little bit better time of it because what I did was I went within. I used that. I prayed, I exercised, I planned on my business. I sat with my ancestors. I really used that time for my spiritual self. And those 8 weeks that we was locked down, or 16 weeks that we was locked down, was really beneficial to me because I had my spiritual tools. And I came out stronger than I would have had I been watching TV and just panicking and stuff. So I don't know. I hope this all makes sense to you all. I wanted to just like keep it low key today and just really talk about the benefits of being connected, and it's a bunch of different things that we do together to stay connected, especially when you're not using it as a band-aid, but you're using it as a way of life. You start to look at music different. You start to look at breathing different. You start to look at quiet time different. And you start to see it as a way to plug in and get charged up. And you don't have to rely on drugs. You don't have to rely on alcohol. You don't have to go run and get a cigarette, because you have a different way to deal with the anxiety and the stress and the worry that we have in our daily lives. You don't feel so broken and lost because you have a way to find the answers to your daily issues. Hold on. Yes, girl, COVID wasn't as bad because I had a lot of inner work to do. Didn't get down and dirty to the fall, but yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, you want me to pull a card? Quiet time is my favorite. Chuck, you telling me to pull a card? Should I pull a card for today? Y'all want a card for today? Let's see what the card says. Tell me if y'all want a card for today. Hey, 3 Seesaw. I am very happy to see you. I saw you post something today. I think I stole one of your posts. I think it was the one about, hey, Quan B. Mac, I ain't never seen you. I really have to sit and chat with you again, mama. Yes. Oh, hey. Look, I'm all over here. All right. Oh, Lakia said, yeah. Oh, everybody said yes. All right. About to do a card of the day. Oh, they told me. Oh, shit. Oh, here they go. They told me I need to use the new card. They ain't gonna try to tell you. I told y'all when I pull out the old ones, that means they trying to tell your life up. They told y'all, they said I could use the warm and fuzzy one. The black people card. It's for black people anyway. Kev on stage cracks me up when you say that. It's for black people anyway. All right, I'm gonna end this day, this Spiritual Tools Tuesday. I have really enjoyed. Thank you all for allowing me to share with you all on this very intimate space. Like, I feel like you all have gotten the message and that you all have shared this message. And I'm so grateful. Yeah. I'm so grateful that the gifts that I have been given are helping so many people to find their own space with God. You can't ask for no more than that. I am so grateful that the words that I've shown, the actions, the classes, the spiritual tools, all of this has allowed people to find their lifeline and to have their own space and processes for getting through the hard times. Because that's what this is about. It is about finding your peace of mind. It is about having a way out of no way. It is about knowing God on an intimate level. It's about reclaiming your power. That's what it's about. Whew. All right. Card time is a core time. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I am a part of her family. Y'all in the circle. I like to say thank you for you are now part of my circle now. I'm watching you live Sunday night. Memorex. Come on, Denise, welcome. Oh, don't cry, Kiki is. Yes, I'm really blessed to have Kiki. I remember when you first came. I remember that. And so much has changed since you first came. So much has changed. Your energy has changed. So I'm so proud of you. I'm always the mama. All right, here we go. Card for the day. Here we go. What we got? See if it's upright. Oh, I'm over here on the couch because I don't have no more room on the table. I'll be right back. Oh, see what we got. It is upright. Oh, the Knight of Swords. I love it. You know, the cards have been on point the last couple of weeks. I mean, and I'm talking in terms of they have been on point with the subject of the day. So this is the Knight of Swords, right? And what we've been talking about today is that sword that he got in his hand, right? Because in the background are these like dark black birds, and the dark black birds represent gossip and espionage, and people trying to knock you off your square, and trouble and all that shit. And he is ready. He got his armor on. He got a sword. And look, it's blood on his sword. So this ain't for show. He uses his sword. And that's what we talking about today. Use your sword. Use your spiritual tools, because that's what's going to get you through life. And it's not like, oh, now your life's going to be warm and fuzzy. Everything going to be great. No, now you will be prepared. You will have your armor on. And whatever come your way, you will know that your ancestors, your spirit guides, your God, your Jesus, your Buddha, whatever it is that you have, that they have a way to tell you how to get through it. That's what it's all about. After that, don't nothing else matter. No, nothing else matter. This is fun. I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate you all. Listen, if you have taken Spiritual Tools Part 1, you can take Spiritual Tools Part 2, which will be happening in May. It is $300, and you can start a payment plan. And in Spiritual Tools Part 2, that's when we learn like the big part of using herbs and setting up our ancestor altar, setting up our spirit guide altar. We have the spiritual and the medicinal properties of herbs. Now, Spiritual Tools Part 1, I know there are a lot of people who want to take Spiritual Tools Part 1. It's a 5-week course that gives you all the basics of all of this that I'm talking about. Candle work, meditation, affirmations, a little bit of herbs, and learning how to do a manifestation altar. Now, I'm not going to offer it anymore this year, but I think what I'm going to do is to like put it on a platform where you can just take it yourself. Now, the drawback from that is that you will not have me to teach that class. I will teach the class, but I'm gonna record it. Y'all just don't have to take it on your own. That seems to be the way that I can offer Spiritual Tools Part 1 again this year. Otherwise, y'all gonna have to wait till 2022. So I'm working on that. That's something I'm working on, and I will keep you posted for those who would like to take Spiritual Tools Part 1. Quan B. Max said, "Oh, Quan B from the Halloween store. I know who you is. Hey, boo. Oh, come here, come. Give me some. That was a hug. I appreciate that message. You don't even know how much it just helped. Peace and light, peace and light. I will be in his house for Spiritual Tools 2. Spiritual Tools 1 was such a blessing for my entire life. It really is. It's a paradigm shift. It changes how you live life. My spirit is feeling the Spiritual Tools 2. They bless you, Mama. Thank you, Kiki. Do it if you can. Thank you, Monica. I love you. Monica is my secret cheerleader. I love her so. Yes, we are putting on our armor, and we have been knighted with our spiritual tools. The energy teaching was a game changer. Yes, I'm telling you now, in Spiritual Tools Part 1, there's a whole class about dealing with energy, the energy that we build up for ourselves and the energy that's sent to us. And that is the class that makes or breaks people. I have had people quit Spiritual Tools class because of that class. And it is because it requires that you look at the way that you're fucking up your own life and your own energy. Like, that's how the class start. And they be like, wait, first of all, I got to do some reflection, and oh no, I'm out. But they always come back and finish the class because you have to do it. And it's okay. You have to do it in your time. Spiritual work works in the time that it needs to work. So it's not like you got to get it ASAP. Maybe you get some of it on today and then you come back 3 weeks later and you get the rest. That's spiritual work, and you have to work within its timing. It's okay. You answered what I was going to ask. I didn't finish one. Oh, okay. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Anyway, y'all going out there and be knights of swords. You know, y'all going out there and be prepared with the people. That's for the that was for the thumbnail. But y'all going out there and use your spiritual tools and send me some pictures. Send me some pictures. I want pictures of you using your spiritual tools. And if you can, put a little blurb about what you do and how it's helping you. And I'm going to make it into a meme. I will not use your name unless you say I can. I will just use the image that you show me and the little blurb that you said about how your spiritual tools are helping you. Because we want people to know that they can have their power. All right? All right. Mwah. Peace. All right, let's see who goes first. I think we're going to turn off Instagram first this time. But then my phone just messed up. Okay, bye, y'all. See y'all. Bye, YouTubers. Wait, what you want? What you want, Chuck? What you call it? Hit me up on in my inbox. Tell me what you want. All right, peace, y'all.